Welcome to the quiet space of our community, where sleep stories live. Maybe it's been a long day, or maybe you just love falling asleep with thoughts of distant space instead of counting elephants. Today we're going to gently immerse ourselves in the most relaxing mysteries of the universe, listening to calm stories about space that make it easy to fall asleep. You don't need to do anything right now, just settle in comfortably. Allow your breathing to slow down, your thoughts to soften, and your body to become light, as if gravity has loosened its grip. We'll go slowly, gently, just one sleepy fact at a time, leaving everything else outside of this night. And before we begin, if these quiet journeys help you relax and gently end your day, touch the like button and subscribe to the channel. This helps others find their way here too, as if one by one we're lighting nighttime beacons of calm. And now settle in comfortably and let's begin. The universe is bigger than we see. All visible matter, stars, planets, galaxies, makes up only a tiny fraction of reality. Approximately 1/4 of the universe is dark matter, and the overwhelming majority is dark energy. We live in an ocean of the invisible, in a world where most of reality has not yet been discovered. This is a reminder that not everything has to be understood right now. There are mysteries waiting for us, there is space for wonder, and in this unknowing there is nothing frightening, only an infinity of possibilities. Dark matter holds galaxies together. Stars at the edges of galaxies orbit faster than they should, according to the laws of gravity of visible matter. Something invisible adds mass, holds everything together. Dark matter is the invisible framework on which the universe is built. It doesn't emit light, doesn't interact with us, it just exists. It's the quiet support, the foundation of the cosmos. Galaxies don't fly apart because something holds them. There is order, even where we don't see it. Dark energy pushes space apart. The universe is expanding, and this expansion is accelerating. Something is pushing galaxies away from each other, overcoming gravity. Dark energy fills all space uniformly, unchangingly. It doesn't clump, doesn't gather, it's just everywhere, always. This is the force that creates the future, that opens space for the new. The universe grows, breathes, expands. There is no crowding, no limits. There is infinity, slowly becoming even greater. We don't know what dark matter is made of. Scientists are searching for dark matter particles in deep underground laboratories, at colliders, in space. So far, nothing. Perhaps they are exotic particles that barely interact with ordinary matter. Perhaps something completely different. Unknowing doesn't mean defeat. It means space for discoveries. Each experiment brings us closer to the answer. And even if the answer doesn't come quickly, the very process of searching is beauty, interest, the life of science. Fast radio bursts come from space. Sudden, powerful pulses of radio waves last milliseconds but carry energy that the sun emits over days. They come from distant galaxies, sometimes repeating, sometimes not. The source is still unclear. Perhaps neutron stars, perhaps magnetic fields, perhaps something else. These bursts are like letters from distant corners of the universe. Brief, mysterious, beautiful. They remind us that the cosmos is alive, active, full of events that we're only beginning to understand. Some signals repeat regularly, One radio burst comes every 16 days, another every hour. The regularity is surprising, raises questions. This is not a random phenomenon, but something with structure, rhythm. Perhaps the rotation of a binary star system, perhaps the interaction of magnetic fields. Regularity is reassuring. Even in the unknown there is order, predictability. The universe is not chaotic. It has rhythms, cycles, patterns that repeat. The wow signal is still unexplained. In 1977, a radio telescope caught a powerful signal at one frequency. The astronomer wrote on the printout, "Wow." The signal never repeated. Almost half a century has passed, and there is no explanation. Maybe it was a comet, maybe something else. The mystery remains a mystery. And there's charm in this. Not everything has to be solved. Not everything has to have an answer. Some puzzles can live forever. Cosmic rays fly through us. High-energy particles from distant sources pierce space at speeds close to light. They pass through your body every second. You don't feel this. They leave no trace. They just fly through, as through emptiness. This is a reminder that we're transparent to most of the universe. We're not an obstacle. The cosmos flows through us, and we don't even notice. This is an intimate connection, invisible but real. The source of cosmic rays is the mystery of the century. Discovered cosmic rays still keep the secret of their origin. Perhaps they're born in supernova remnants, perhaps near black holes, perhaps in pulsar wind nebulae. Each new study brings us closer to the answer, but it's still ahead. 100 years of searching, and more ahead. This is the patience of the universe, the slowness of great discoveries. Not everything comes easily, and there's respect for mystery in this. Between stars is almost emptiness. Interstellar space is rarefied to an incredible degree. A few atoms per cubic centimeter, sometimes none, mostly nothing, vacuum, silence. Stars shine, but between them are vast oceans of emptiness where nothing happens. This is absolute calm, absence of events. In a world where everything is filled with noise, interstellar space is a place of true silence. There you can rest from everything, even from existence. Most atoms are empty space. If you enlarged an atom to the size of a football stadium, the nucleus would be the size of a pea in the center, and the electrons would be invisible points orbiting in the stands. Between them is nothing. An atom is almost emptiness. Everything that seems solid actually contains almost nothing. The table, the hand, the earth, mostly space. This is a strange, paradoxical reality. Matter is mostly the absence of matter. The quantum vacuum is not empty. Even in complete emptiness, something happens. Virtual particles flash and disappear, are born and annihilate in microseconds. The vacuum boils with energy, invisible but real. Perhaps dark energy is precisely the energy of empty space, of vacuum. It turns out that even nothing is something. Even emptiness has properties, energy, life. The universe knows no true emptiness. Something is always happening, even when it seems there's nothing. Gravitational waves permeate space. When two black holes merge, they create waves in space-time. These waves fly through the universe at the speed of light, stretching and compressing space. We've learned to catch them with special detectors. Each wave is a song of a distant event, a memory of something that happened billions of years ago. Space sings, oscillates, breathes. We live in an ocean of these waves, imperceptible but real. The universe has a voice, and we've only begun to hear it. Black holes don't suck everything in. Contrary to popular belief, a black hole doesn't suck everything into itself. If the sun suddenly became a black hole of the same mass, Earth would continue to orbit in the same orbit. Gravity would remain the same. Black holes just exist, hold surrounding objects with their gravity, like stars. They're not monsters, not traps. Just very dense objects that were once stars. Planets can orbit around them. Systems can exist. A black hole is not the end, but a transformation. Time slows down near massive objects. Near a black hole, where gravity is enormous, time flows more slowly. If you could observe from there to the universe, you'd see it aging quickly. And for you, minutes would pass. This is not fiction, but the reality of relativity theory. Time is not absolute. It's flexible, depends on gravity. In different places of the universe, time flows differently. This is strange but reassuring. Even time is not as rigid as it seems. There is a possibility to slow it down, stretch it, experience it differently. Organic molecules drift between stars. In interstellar clouds, astronomers find alcohols, aldehydes, complex carbon molecules. They form on the surface of dust grains in the cold of space. These are the building blocks of life, drifting in emptiness. Perhaps such molecules once fell onto the young Earth, brought material for life. Space is not sterile. It's chemically active, rich. Even in cold and darkness, substances are born that can become alive. The universe is ready for life. It supports it, creates conditions. Life can exist in strange places. Under the ice of Jupiter's and Saturn's moons, there may be liquid oceans. There, in darkness, without sunlight, life is possible. On Earth, organisms live near hydrothermal vents at the ocean floor, in hot springs, in Antarctic ice. Life is more tenacious than it seems. It finds a way where we don't expect. Perhaps somewhere on Enceladus, in the sub-ice ocean, something moves, lives its life. We're not alone, even in our system. Life may be nearby, just under the ice. Methane on Titan flows in rivers. Saturn's moon, Titan, has an atmosphere, clouds, rain. But instead of water, there's methane and ethane. Liquid methane collects in lakes, flows in rivers, evaporates, falls as rain again. This is a complete hydrological cycle, but with completely different chemistry. It's cold there, but the processes are the same: evaporation, condensation, flow. Titan shows that one scenario can repeat with different substances. Nature loves to repeat forms, adapt them to conditions. Venus rotates in the opposite direction. Most planets spin in one direction. Venus is the opposite. A day there lasts longer than a year. It rotates so slowly and in the opposite direction that the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Nobody knows exactly why. Perhaps once something huge hit it, flipped it over. Perhaps gravitational interactions. Venus is the rebel of the solar system, who chose her own path. Even planets have individuality. their own quirks. Mars has seasons. Mars is tilted to its orbit, like Earth. So there is spring, summer, autumn, winter. Polar ice caps grow in winter, shrink in summer. Dust storms are more active in certain seasons. It's a planet with rhythm, with cycles. Even without life, there are changes, movement of time. Mars breathes with seasons, lives its slow life. Watching it, you see, even a desert world has beauty, dynamics, history. Jupiter protects the inner planets. Jupiter's enormous gravity attracts comets and asteroids flying toward the inner system. It acts like a cosmic vacuum cleaner, clearing space. Thanks to it, Earth has suffered fewer impacts than it could have. Jupiter is a quiet guardian, a giant standing watch. It doesn't know about us, but its presence makes our life more possible. Even planets can protect each other, create conditions for safety. Saturn's rings are temporary. They exist for only a few 100 million years. That's young for a planet. Perhaps they formed relatively recently from a shattered moon. In tens of millions of years, the rings will disappear, fall onto the planet, or disperse. We live in an era when Saturn has rings. This is a gift of time, temporary beauty. Even in space, there are things that don't last forever, and this makes them more valuable, more beautiful. Transience is part of beauty. Uranus lies on its side. Uranus's axis of rotation is tilted extremely. The planet essentially rolls along its orbit, like a ball. The poles alternately face the Sunday. Summer at one pole lasts 42 years of continuous light, then 42 years of darkness. Perhaps once something large hit Uranus and flipped it over. It accepted this and continued to exist, unusually but stably. Even after a huge impact, you can find a new balance, a new way of existing. Neptune has the fastest winds. Although Neptune is farthest from the Sun and coldest of the giants, there are the strongest winds in the system. Energy doesn't come from the Sun but from the planet's interior. Neptune radiates more heat than it receives. It has an internal energy source. Even at the edge of the system, where the Sun barely shines, there is movement, activity, the life of the planet. Cold doesn't mean stagnation. Neptune lives by its internal fire. Exoplanets come in the most diverse forms. Hot Jupiters orbit close to their stars in days. Super-Earths are more massive than our planet, but smaller than Neptune. There are planets with diamond rains, with oceans of magma, with two suns in the sky. The diversity is stunning. Each system is unique. Each planet has its own history. The universe experiments, creates countless variations. No two worlds are the same. This is richness of forms, beauty, possibilities. Some planets wander without stars. They were ejected from their systems by gravitational interactions. Now they fly in the darkness of interstellar space, cold, lonely. But they exist, have their mass, perhaps moons. These are solitary planets that chose, or were forced to choose, a lonely road. Even without a star, they continue to exist, carry their history through emptiness. Loneliness doesn't mean disappearance. You can exist without a center, without light. Stars are born in beautiful nebulae. The Orion Nebula, the Eagle Nebula, giant clouds of gas and dust where clumps compress, heat up, new stars ignite. These are cradles of light, bright, colorful, majestic. When you look at them through a telescope, you see birth, beginning. This is not a one-time event, but a process lasting millions of years. Stars are born slowly, patiently. Nebulae are the motherhood of space, gentle care over new light. Old stars return matter to space. When a star fades, it sheds its outer shells, creates a planetary nebula. Gas disperses, enriched with heavy elements that formed in the core. This gas mixes with the interstellar medium, becomes part of new clouds where new stars will be born. This is a cycle that doesn't stop. The death of one star is a gift to the next generation. Nothing is lost. Everything transitions, transforms, continues to live in new form. Pulsars are cosmic beacons. Neutron stars rotate at incredible speed, sometimes hundreds of times per second. They emit beams of radio waves that rotate with them. When the beam is directed at Earth, we catch a pulse. These are regular signals, precise as a clock. Pulsars are natural beacons that help navigate the universe. Even after the death of a massive star, something useful remains that serves others. Magnetic fields permeate galaxies. Invisible lines of magnetic field stretch through interstellar space, organize the movement of charged particles, influence star formation. This is invisible structure, a framework on which the visible is built. Magnetic fields are weak but enormous in scale. They hold form, create order. The universe is not just an accumulation of matter, it's an organized system of forces, fields, interactions. Even the invisible plays a role. Neutrinos pass through everything. These particles barely interact with matter. A neutrino born in the center of the sun flies through the entire star, through Earth, through you, without stopping. Billions of neutrinos pass through your palm every second. You are transparent to them, like glass to light. This is a strange feeling, to be penetrable, not an obstacle. The universe flows through us, and we don't even notice. This is a connection, intimate and invisible. The cosmic microwave background is a memory of the beginning. The entire sky glows with faint microwave light. This is the echo of the Big Bang. Photons that flew out when the universe was 380,000 years old are still wandering. They've cooled, stretched, become microwaves. But they're here, around us, always. This is the most ancient light that can be seen, a memory of birth, of the beginning of everything. The universe remembers its youth, and this memory is accessible to us. The universe is flat, on a large scale. The geometry of space is not globally curved. Parallel lines remain parallel at large distances. The universe is not closed in a sphere, not curved into a saddle. It's flat, which means it's infinite or almost infinite. There are no edges, no walls. You can fly in any direction forever. This is openness, infinity, freedom. The universe has no limiting boundaries. It's open to everything. Galaxies form a cosmic web. They're arranged not randomly but along invisible threads of dark matter. Between the threads are enormous empty regions, voids. This is the largest structure of the universe, a web of galaxies stretching billions of light years. In this web there is order, beauty, symmetry. The universe is organized at all levels, from atoms to superclusters. Even at the largest scales, there is structure, form, harmony. Between galaxy clusters is almost nothing. Great voids are regions of space, hundreds of millions of light-years in diameter, where there are almost no galaxies. Just emptiness, darkness, silence. These are the calmest places in the universe. Nothing happens there. Time flows without events. If you could be there, you'd see darkness in all directions. This is absolute solitude, but also absolute calm. Even the universe has places for rest, for silence, for nothing. Time before the Big Bang did not exist. Space and time began together. The question, what was before? It makes no sense because before didn't exist. Time is part of the universe, not something external. This is strange for understanding, but reassuring. No need to search for the beginning of time because it is the beginning. The universe didn't appear in time, it appeared together with time. This is a beginning without before, a start without previous history. The universe may be one of many. Some theories predict a multiverse, countless separate universes with different laws of physics, different constants. Ours is just one of them. This is unconfirmed but possible. If so, then we're in one of many variants of reality. Somewhere there are universes without stars, somewhere without atoms, and we're in the one where everything fit for life. This is luck or chance, but in any case, it's a reminder. Our reality is special but may not be the only one. Inflation stretched the universe in an instant. In the first microseconds, the universe expanded exponentially, became countless times larger. This explains why it's so homogeneous, so flat. Inflation is a period of wild growth when everything changed instantly. Then the expansion slowed, became ordinary. But that first moment determined the entire future. Sometimes the most important events happen very quickly, and then their consequences unfold for billions of years. Quantum fluctuations became galaxies. Tiny random oscillations in the early universe, quantum inhomogeneities, grew into galaxies, clusters, voids. What began as microscopic perturbations became structure on scales of billions of light years. Quantum mechanics, operating at the level of atoms, influenced the shape of the entire universe. Small causes generate enormous consequences. This is the connection between the smallest and the largest, between quantum and cosmos. Antimatter almost disappeared. In the early universe, there was equal amounts of matter and antimatter. They annihilated upon collision, but a tiny surplus of matter remained 1 particle per billion. This surplus became everything we see. Antimatter disappeared, only matter remained. Nobody knows exactly why. Perhaps some asymmetry in the laws of physics. This small difference created stars, planets, us. Sometimes a small inequality changes everything. Time flows differently in different places. Near massive objects, time slows down. At the top of a mountain, it flows slightly faster than in a valley. The difference is microscopic but real. GPS satellites account for this effect. Otherwise, navigation would be inaccurate. Time is not universal. It depends on gravity, on speed. This is flexibility of reality, the ability to stretch and compress what seemed absolute. Light ages on the road. Photons flying billions of years stretch along with space. Ultraviolet becomes visible. Visible becomes infrared. This is redshift. The farther the source, the more the light is stretched. But light doesn't lose energy in emptiness. It just adapts to expanding space. This is a journey that leaves a trace, a change that tells about distance and time. The most distant galaxies look young. When we look at galaxies billions of light years away, we see them as they were in the youth of the universe. They're smaller, more chaotic, more active. Stars are born faster there, fewer heavy elements. This is time travel without a machine. A telescope is a window into the past. The deeper we look, the younger the universe we see. This is a unique opportunity to see history unfolded in space. The first stars were huge. In the early universe, there were no heavy elements, only hydrogen and helium. Stars formed massive, hundreds of times heavier than the Sunday. They burned bright, hot, quickly lived their lives and ended, leaving heavy elements. These elements became part of the next generation of stars. The first stars were pioneers who created conditions for everything else. They lived briefly, but their contribution is eternal. A star can outlive death. White dwarfs are remnants of stars that exhausted their fuel. They no longer burn, just slowly cool. A white dwarf can shine for trillions of years, gradually fading. This is a long, calm ending, not abrupt but gentle. Even after completing active life, a star continues to exist, shine, be. The death of a star is not the end, but transition to a new state, quiet and long. Neutron stars are incredibly dense. A teaspoon of neutron star matter weighs 1 billion tons. Protons and electrons merged into neutrons, packed so densely that a star 20 kilometers in diameter has the mass of 2 suns. This is the limit of ordinary matter density. If compressed more strongly, a black hole will form. Neutron stars are the limit of the possible, extreme form of matter's existence. They show how extreme conditions can be. Some neutron stars have huge magnetic fields. Magnetars are neutron stars with magnetic fields a quadrillion times stronger than Earth's. These fields can distort atoms, tear apart molecules. At a distance of 1,000 kilometers, a magnetar could extract iron from your blood. These are the most powerful magnets in the universe. They're rare, extreme, unusual. Magnetars show how diverse stellar remnants can be. Black holes can evaporate. Stephen Hawking predicted that black holes slowly lose mass through quantum effects at the event horizon. They radiate tiny particles, gradually shrink. For massive black holes, this takes countless eons, much longer than the age of the universe. But eventually, even a black hole will disappear, evaporate. Nothing is eternal, even the densest objects. The universe has patience to wait until even black holes dissolve into nothing. The event horizon is the boundary of no return. If you cross the event horizon of a black hole, return is impossible. Even light cannot escape. But the moment of crossing itself is not special. Nothing abrupt happens. Suddenly, all paths lead inward. This is a boundary, invisible but absolute. Beyond it are different rules, different reality. The event horizon is a line beyond which the universe changes, becomes different, closed to the outside world. Inside a black hole, time and space swap places. Beyond the event horizon, what was time becomes a direction in space, direction to the singularity. Moving to the center becomes as inevitable as moving into the future. This is distortion of reality, where usual categories stop working. Inside a black hole, different rules operate that we don't yet fully understand. This is territory of the unknown, where physics is at the limit of the possible. Singularity is a point of infinity. At the center of a black hole, according to theories, exists a singularity, a point of infinite density. There all laws of physics we know break down. Perhaps this is a place where quantum gravity is needed, which we haven't yet created. Singularity is the limit of knowledge, a point where theories stop. It reminds us that there are places where science hasn't yet reached, but this is not the end. It's a challenge, an invitation to continue searching. Wormholes are theoretically possible. They would connect 2 points of space-time, creating a shortcut. But for their existence, exotic matter with negative energy is needed. Such matter is theoretically possible, but nobody has found it. Wormholes remain in the realm of mathematics, not reality. But the possibility is not excluded. The universe may have tunnels, shortcuts, paths we don't yet know how to use. Parallel universes may exist. Quantum mechanics allows an interpretation where each quantum event creates a branching of reality. In one universe, the electron went left, in another right. Both exist but don't interact. This is a multiverse of quantum possibilities, unconfirmed but not disproven. If so, then each of your actions creates new universes where you chose differently. Reality may be infinitely branched, rich in variance. The entropy of the universe is increasing. Disorder slowly increases. Energy dissipates, becomes less useful. This is the second law of thermodynamics. Eventually, after countless eons, the universe will reach heat death, a state where everything is equally cold, dark, motionless. But this is so far it's hard even to imagine. For now, the universe is young, active, full of processes. The future is open, and concern about an end coming in googles of years makes no sense. Live now, in this bright, active stage. Stars will shine for trillions more years. Even if star formation slows down, the smallest red dwarfs will shine for trillions of years. They burn economically, slowly spend fuel. Some red dwarfs born now will exist longer than the current age of the universe. Light won't fade quickly. Ahead are countless epochs of light, warmth, possibilities. The universe is not rushing into darkness. It has a long, bright future ahead. We are made of stellar matter. Every atom of carbon, oxygen, iron in your body was born in a star. Hydrogen is from the Big Bang, but everything heavier is from stars. When a star completes its life, it ejects these elements into space. They become part of new clouds, planets, bodies. You are made from the ashes of stars. This is not a metaphor but literal truth. We're all part of the cosmic cycle, connected to stars through the matter we're made of. Gold was born in neutron star collisions. The heaviest elements, gold, platinum, uranium, cannot form in ordinary stars. They're born when two neutron stars merge. In this process, a flux of neutrons explodes, creating heavy nuclei. Then this material disperses into space. Every gold ring, every platinum ornament is a fragment of a neutron merger that happened billions of years ago. Precious metals are precious, not only economically but cosmically. They're rare, difficult to create. Light can bend around massive objects. Gravitational lensing is when a massive galaxy or cluster distorts light from an object behind it. We see multiple images of one galaxy, stretched arcs, rings. This is not an illusion but real distortion of space. Gravity acts on light, although photons have no mass. This shows that gravity is not attraction of masses but curvature of space-time itself. Light simply follows the shortest path, but this path is curved. Some galaxies are lenses for others. Using gravitational lensing, astronomers see galaxies that would otherwise be too dim. A massive galaxy amplifies the light of a distant one, acts as a natural telescope. This helps study the early universe. Nature itself creates tools for observations. The universe helps us study itself, provides means for its own cognition. Dark galaxies possibly exist. Hypothetical galaxies consisting mainly of dark matter and having almost no stars. They're invisible, but their gravity affects surroundings. Not yet confirmed, but possible. If so, then the universe is even fuller of objects than it seems. Invisible galaxies drifting in darkness preserve their mass, shape, history. They remind us that most of reality is hidden, invisible, but real. The universe has no center. Expansion happens everywhere equally. Each galaxy moves away from each other. There's no point from which everything is flying apart. The center is everywhere and nowhere. This is hard to imagine, but this is how space expansion works. All points are equal. All can be considered the center. This is a democratic universe where there's no privileged place, where all are equally important. The observable universe has a boundary. We see only that part from which light had time to reach us in the time of the universe's existence. This is a sphere with a diameter of about 90 billion light-years. Beyond it, there are also galaxies, stars, space, but we don't see them because light hasn't arrived yet. Perhaps it never will because expansion is accelerating. There's a part of the universe that will forever remain invisible to us. This is the limit of cognition, not physical but informational. The future is open. The universe continues to evolve. Stars are born, galaxies merge, life possibly appears on new planets. Ahead are trillions more years of processes, changes, events. The future is not determined, it's being created now. Each star that ignites, each planet that forms, is a step into the unknown. The universe is not finished, it's in process, and this inspires. There's no end point, there's only continuation, unfolding, development. We are part of the cognition process. The universe knows itself through us. Atoms that once were in stars are now in our brain, thinking about stars. This is self-awareness of the cosmos, reflection of the universe. We're not outside observers, but part of what we observe. This is an intimate connection, unity that overcomes distances. When you look at a star, stellar matter looks at a star. This is a loop of awareness, beautiful and deep. Mysteries remain. Even with all knowledge, the universe preserves mysteries. Dark matter, dark energy, the beginning of time, the possibility of other universes, all these are open questions. And this is wonderful. Not everything has to be understood. Mystery is not defeat of reason, but its inspiration. It invites us to continue searching, thinking, wondering. The universe is generous with mysteries, and this makes life more interesting. Space invites calm. Looking at the starry sky, you feel silence. All worries seem smaller against the background of infinity. The space between stars, the slowness of cosmic processes, the majesty of scales, all this gives perspective. The universe reminds you that you're small but part of something huge. And there's comfort in this. Calm, space for breathing. Each star is a possibility. Around many stars orbit planets. Some may have conditions for life. Statistically, we're not alone. Somewhere, perhaps, someone looks at their sky and thinks the same. This is a pleasant thought, not to be the only ones, to have cosmic neighbors, even if we never meet. The universe is full of possibilities, potential, life in different forms. Time heals on cosmic scales. Processes that seem final are temporary on cosmic scales. A star fades, but its matter becomes part of a new one. A galaxy is absorbed, but its stars continue to exist. Even black holes eventually evaporate. Nothing is final. Everything flows, changes, transforms. Time in the universe is a healer that transforms everything, gives new forms, new beginnings. The universe is patient. It waited billions of years for life to appear. Waited for life to become intelligent. Waited for intelligence to look up and ask, "What's there?" The universe is not in a hurry. It gives time. Billions of years for planet formation, millions for evolution, thousands for civilization development. This is patience, respect for process, understanding that true beauty requires time. The universe teaches us patience, slowness, trust in process. The mysteries of the universe are an invitation to fall asleep in peace. When you lie down knowing that above you unfolds an infinite cosmos full of mysteries and beauty, you feel calm. Not everything has to be understood today. Dark matter exists even if we don't see it. Stars are born even when we sleep. The universe continues its existence, majestic, calm, patient. You can let go of control, close your eyes, fall asleep. The cosmos will continue its dance without you, and this is reassuring. You're part of something so large that your sleep is just a moment in the great symphony. The universe allows you to rest because it itself is rest, infinite silence between stars, slow breathing of galaxies, eternal calm of space. Fall asleep knowing that mysteries will remain, beauty will continue, and tomorrow the universe will still be here, waiting for you to look up again. We've also come a long way today. From invisible dark matter that holds galaxies together to gravitational waves quietly passing through space. From cosmic rays flying through you every moment to distant stars in whose cores the atoms of your body were once born. From the birth of the universe to the thought that the universe itself looks at itself through you. And now, when you fall asleep, when your eyes become heavy, imagine you lie in a dark, quiet room. Around you is soft darkness like interstellar space. The ceiling above you transforms into the night sky. Dim constellations, distant galaxies, invisible threads of the cosmic web. You seem to slowly float through this space without sound, without weight, without hurry. The universe expands slowly, evenly, calmly. Your breathing synchronizes with this movement. Inhale, and it's as if the space around opens slightly, becomes wider. Exhale, and you gently immerse yourself deeper into silence, releasing the day thoughts tension. Imagine that all these mysteries, dark matter, dark energy, quantum fluctuations, distant galaxies, are just a caring background on which you now rest. There's no need to understand everything, no obligation to answer everything. The universe existed before your questions and will exist after, calm, patient, majestic. You are a small but real particle of this universe. The same laws of physics that govern black holes and galactic clusters gently govern your heart and every breath. The same atoms that once glowed in the cores of stars now quietly rest in your body. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are its continuation, its soft living branch. May your sleep be as deep as intergalactic emptiness, as quiet as the space between stars where almost nothing happens for billions of years. May your dreams be soft, like the faint relic glow enveloping the entire universe. Gentle, slow, filled with a sense of security and space. Remember, while you fall asleep somewhere far away, galaxies continue. Their slow dance, stars are born and fade. Neutrinos fly through you, and the universe patiently continues without demands, without hurry, without judgment. You can allow yourself to simply be, simply breathe, simply fall asleep. The mysteries won't go anywhere. They'll wait until morning. Sleep deeply, sleep calmly. Under the silence of the cosmic web, under the invisible support of dark matter, under the soft, patient gaze of the universe. Good night.